Hey everyone. Hello. Hey Lynn. Hey Jess. It's only me tonight, guys. I'm flying solo. Boo is like um kind of like a cute name for like a babe or a good girlfriend or just kind of like a boo. My boo. Who sings that song, Jess? Me and my boo. Remember that song? Oh, it is so windy here tonight, guys. If I stop talking, whoever lives in Kansas, I'm probably going to be at your front door. Yeah, just kind of like a sweet little name. Hey, boo. There was a song. It was called Me and My Boo. You remember that, Jess? Okay, I need to drop a link. I might actually have a interesting co-host tonight. I want to give me 1 second to send him a link. Did everyone have a good Thanksgiving? Did you have leftovers today? Kitty, did you have a good Thanksgiving? I know you did. 1 sec, guys. Let me copy this link. I got some interesting videos I want to share tonight on the Idaho 4. How many of you are in shock that they still have not arrested anybody? Okay. Link is sent. Hey, Gen X. Hey, GB. Can you guys hear that wind blowing? I'm telling you, if I stop talking, I'm going to be in Kansas. Hey, Lilac. It's just me tonight. Kaz has company, and it's just me is DJing tonight. You know what, Lynn? I'm gonna play a video. I have some great videos. Johnny Law came out with a video. I'm not gonna play this one first though, but I went over and let me show you real quick. I actually asked him for permission to play this video because it was so amazing and it was so much work involved in it. He's explaining the house, but we're going to get into that after a couple of videos. But I just want to show you. Not sure if any of you have seen it, but what a great video. So I came over here and I asked them right here 10 hours ago. I said, excellent video. Thank you. I would like to share this on my channel live if that is okay. He came back and said, you're welcome. I'd be honored. And he called me Monica. I like Monica. And then I thanked him. But it's the University of Idaho murders detailed layout of the house. I mean, he's basically showing you the room. I mean, it's an amazing video, guys. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then I have a video of a profiler who is explaining who he thinks he did a profile on the suspect, basically. And then there's a couple FBI was back on the scene, and I think that might be it as far as tonight. But who knows? We might end it with a late night serial killer. I'm only kidding. But yes, I said it before. I truly believe that the similarities to this case in the Gainesville murders, Danny Rollins, is absolutely crazy. To me, that's my opinion. Do I think it's a copycat killer of Danny Rollins? Probably not, but it's weird, the similarities. We played it the other night and we ended it with the Danny Rollins, and it was just like, you know what, Lynn? I want that. Can you do you have Discord, Lynn? Can you drop that link under the video or email it to me, please? MonkieMar True Crime. I would like to check that out. We can do that tonight. Okay, so let's start with the profiler. You know what? No. Let's start off with the article where they're this came out today, which I found interesting. They're going back and they're talking about another guy that was ditched at the food truck. Oh, I have not watched any of these except for the house and the profiler. So I cannot even tell you what this video is about. Okay, you're giving me vertigo. Let's go. Hey, that rhymed.
On the evening of November 12th and into the early morning hours of November 13th, Kaylee and Madison.
Hear this. Did you hear that, guys? Gen X looks like a cool chick. I like that. Is that a pink bandana? Okay, thank you, Lynn. Did you guys hear that okay in the beginning? Okay. I'll put it on 1 point. No, we can't. Okay, here we go.
Arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. after visiting a local bar and a street food vendor. Ethan and Xana were also out in the community at Sigma Chi, and they arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. Two surviving roommates who were also out in the community arrived home at approximately 1 a.m. Later, on the morning of November 13th at 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed. The call reported an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence, and a surviving roommate's cell phone was used. During that call, the dispatcher spoke to multiple people who were on scene. Moscow.
See, people keep getting this confused. I actually have seen a few creators to this day that keep saying that the person was passed out in the front yard, a stranger drove by, and they made the 911 call. That is not what happened. He is telling us again, probably for the 5th time, how that 911 call was made. Hey, Jennifer.
Police officers responded and found 2 victims, 2 on the 2nd floor and 2 on the 3rd floor of 1122 King Road. The results of autopsies indicated that the 4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds, and there was no sign of sexual assault. We do not believe the following individuals were involved. The 13th, Kaylee and Madison arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. after visitors of November.
Okay. Now, hello. I am very thankful. Hey, Kaz. I am very thankful that there was no essay on this. Okay, but hear me out, and I'm playing the devil's advocate. These girls were so beautiful. You know, I'm saying, so if the motive wasn't the fact, see, to me, that takes a stalker completely out of the game for me. Because if somebody is stalking two gorgeous blonde college girls and that those were the target, then I mean, it doesn't go together like a usual scenario of a crime like this would go together if it was a stalker, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
So if it wasn't, so if that wasn't a motive and they're claiming there was a stalker and that, then what could it be?
Mm.
Did your
Yeah,
company leave?
yeah. 5 minutes ago, just left. I've left Ross to the cleaning up.
Hey Leon, can you do me a big favor, Kaz, in a second? We got an email from Lynn that I want to play at the end because I only have like 4 videos to play. It's not going to be a long live at all. But I spoke to Jonathan Law. Did you see the message I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke about that in the beginning. So I've got that video, the profiler, this one, and the FBI, the FBI, the FBI, the
The FBI.
FBI, the FBI was back on the scene. And I was speaking with Mr. X earlier, the mysterious Mr. X. And I invited him up to come learn about crime and hang out. He's like, well, I don't really know what to say. I'm like, just hang out and check it out. So
I'm just dropping that link that Lynn sent into Discord now.
it was something about Oregon that might be related. She was saying, I have no idea what she's talking about, but I'm very interested to know. So let's just get that off of it. Nobody passed out in the driveway, unless maybe she did, but a passerby did not stop and call 911. The call came from inside of the residence from one of the surviving girls' phones. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, that was me.
Kaylee and Madison arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. after visiting a local bar and a street food vendor. Ethan and Xana were also out in the community at Sigma Chi, and they arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. Two surviving roommates who were also out in the community arrived home at approximately 1 a.m. Later, on the morning of November 13th at 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed. The call reported an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence, and a surviving roommate's cell phone was used. During that call, the dispatcher spoke to multiple people
Oh my
who were on
gosh, I'm
scene.
psychic.
Moscow police officers responded and found 2 victims, 2 on the 2nd floor and 2 on the 3rd floor of 1122 King Road. The results of autopsies indicated that the 4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds, and there was no sign of sexual assault. We do not believe the following individuals were involved: the 2 surviving roommates, the male seen in a grub truck video circulating on the internet, a private party who drove Kaylee and Madison home, any of the individuals who spoke to the dispatcher on the 911 call. We're also aware of a male whom Madison and Kaylee had called several times the morning of November 13th.
Jack.
We do not suspect that
Jack.
individual.
No,
Detectives
Jeremy.
have canvassed the neighborhoods looking for evidence, physical evidence, video surveillance, and they've contacted numerous residents to see if anybody may have seen or heard anything. We have heard mention that Kaylee stated she may have had a stalker. Detectives have been looking into that, and to this point have been unable to corroborate the statement, although we continue to seek information and tips regarding that report. No suspects have been named or arrested, and we continue looking for what we believe to be a fixed blade knife used in the murders.
I don't think it was a stalker.
We have not
Your
released
Justice.
the names of any of the subjects who spoke on the 911 call, and we have not released the call itself.
I just wanted to go back to just to, I mean, I keep hearing people say that the girl was passed out in the driveway, a stranger. Even today, they say that. It's like, no, that is not what happened. The call, it sounds like that old movie, the 70s movie, when the girl's babysitting and the caller keeps calling her on the phone and she's like, leave me alone. And the cops call her back and they say, the call is coming from in the house.
Yeah.
I sent you the note card on Discord.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
So they're saying that another scenario was going around that they ditched another guy at the food truck.
Oh, the one that was giving Kaylee that hug.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I want to finish these two articles before I get into the profiler and the Johnny Law. God bless you, Fiona.
Oh, did you sneeze?
Yeah, she's climbing up the back of the couch right now. I can feel her. And this is Fox, and so you know Fox does not like me. Come on. Let me read. Come on, you can do it. Oh. Oh, look. It's popped up right here, too. The quadruple murders similar to the 2021 unsolved.
Who's the boss? Being a boss is actually super easy.
So this is the FBI back today at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, Lana, Bruce, I agree with you. Even though they've been cleared initially, doesn't mean that they can come off that cleared list if something turns
Absolutely.
up.
Absolutely. We've seen it before. So they're back at the scene. The FBI. What do you think they're back at the scene looking for, guys? Bless you. Yeah, I saw that, Lynn. Actually, when I just came to this webpage on Fox, I saw what you were talking about on the right-hand side, but Kaz had already sent me the link, so it's on my note card. What do you think they're back there looking for? Well, if they're not talking, let me mute them. I'll go a little lower in case they start talking. Because there's the house right there with the reef on the door, 1122. Could there's I can't even imagine what that scene looked like inside. They said
Well,
it was very messy, as in messy, the both types of messy. He was messy and he left a messy horror. I can't even imagine. I probably would have dropped dead right there if I saw that.
well, they wouldn't have cleared it up yet. It's still the same.
Oh yeah. I guarantee you that house is going to be demolished.
No, there's actually professional crews that come in and clean up.
Yeah, not in the
houses.
States, Kaz.
Oh,
When
yeah,
something
especially in
tragic
this
happens
case.
like this, yeah, they take it down just because nobody wants to be reminded of the memories. So they were back there today. I honestly cannot believe that they do not have one person. There's got to be a lot of cameras on those college kids' houses.
Well, you think so?
and in that area. I mean, with that much blood, there has got to be footprints, unless the perpetrator was wearing like those foot covers, that you put over the shoes when repairman come in your house so that they don't get your carpet dirty.
Possible, but I don't think he would have had time, to be honest. Those guys that arrived from the FBI were actually members of the behavioural analysis unit.
And then another update from today is that the university decided to allow all the students that wanted to go home, and they would be doing remote training. That was another up new thing. Oh, I didn't see it had a video. University of Idaho allows remote learning in wake of unsolved murders. Let's see if this is the same one. I think I know this one by heart now. Why doesn't Fox like me? Oh, it's a different one. I saw a female.
Getting the late University of Idaho murders from officials in Moscow.
Don't be mean, Fox.
I'm with the Moscow Police Department. Joining me today is Captain Roger Lanier with the Moscow Police Department. Moscow Deputy City Supervisor Tyler Palmer,
this is the same one.
Colonel Kedrick Will.
Yeah, I know that one by heart. So, guys, so think about it. You have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful college girls in the house. One has a boyfriend. You go into this house and you take out 4 of them and leave 2. And no essay. They didn't take anything. It didn't seem like these kids had any enemies, or were they maybe selling college drugs? Was maybe one of those kids like not using, but one of those ecstasy sellers, like, or an Adderall for college kids? Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas like of what it could have possibly been.
Well, there was one thing I thought of yesterday. Did somebody find out about Zana's mum, who I don't know if everybody knows, but Zana's mum is now in jail on drug-related charges. Did they think...
Do you have her background report?
I haven't run it. I can run it for you.
Yeah, okay, continue, but continue. I would like to see that. I'm going to go potty, but I'm listening. Yes, yeah. I'm taking you all to the bathroom with me, but I'm going to wash my hands.
If somebody thought maybe Zana, with, incorrectly putting 2 and 2 together and getting 6, thinking, well, if Zana's mum had a bit of a shady drugs history, maybe Zana had drugs in the house, and that's what they meant by targeted attack. Because
that makes sense, but why wouldn't you just target her? Why are we going to go upstairs and take out the couple?
Well,
and leave 2.
Well, it was Ethan and Zana that were killed first, I believe. And I think Ethan was taken out first, and I think Zana woke up, and I think it may be her that had the defensive wounds on her. And it's unfortunate that Kaylee and Madison were unfortunate.
See, that's where I was confused. So Xana is the brunette that has the boyfriend.
Correct.
Okay. That's where I was confused. For some reason, I thought one of the blondes was Xana.
No. And I thought,
And
well,
when did this situation happen with the drugs with Xana's mom? Recent, or was this a
yeah,
couple
no,
years?
very recent. She went back into jail, very, like around the time that the murders occurred. I have to pull up her.
Really?
Yeah. Hang on.
That's very interesting. It's interesting, but it doesn't add up to why. The only thing I can honestly think of with those two girls at the bottom and he breaks the house down, this video is incredible.
Yeah.
It's funny,
he's very
Kaz, that I had already left that message, and you and I are always on the same page. The video that we're going to show, I was talking about Johnny Law that I showed you in the beginning when I asked him for permission to play it. After I had just done that, I had not spoken to Kaz at all. We didn't share any links. I come back tonight after work. I look at my phone, and Kaz sent that exact video, and I'm like, and we've never even spoke about this man before. And I'm like, lady, get the hell out of my head. I'm already there.
Oh, I can't help it. And that was at like 6 o'clock my time in the morning.
So guys, tell me in chat, if it's not about an essay and you break into this house, I mean, what do you guys think it could possibly be? It's just so bizarre. Even, I mean, not to say even, but can you think of one incident like this where they went in and their essay was not involved? I mean, shit, Jeffrey Dahmer even. Oh, gosh. And then Danny Rollins did it after the fact. You know, he left one of the girls' heads on the bookshelf.
I know. That's what made me think maybe that's what they meant by targeted. I don't know. It just gave me that, when
that's what I'm thinking.
When I heard that Cara, which is Zana's mum.
I love Lynn. That's what I'm thinking, Lynn. But it's a serial killer. So if it's a serial killer and they're not interested in SA, I mean, and I truly 80% I believe it's a male, but could it be a woman? I say we go listen and hear what the FBI profiler says.
I'm pulling up Cara's.
All right. And yes, I've heard everything about the Club Q's dad's porn, and oh gosh. But that's probably something that Kaz and I will not talk about. We know about it, but it's just that whole situation is very disturbing. Idaho co-ed killer, FBI profiler reveals suspects' likely attributes. Be nice, Fox, please.
Let this soft mineral melt in your...
I'm going to leave it small, guys, so it doesn't buffer. Ew. Oh!
When Fox News legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Mercedes, you look at this from a different perspective, from a legal perspective. As you go through and you look at what they are focusing on, what do you think is
now I've got two FBI profilers, guys. I got her and I've got a man. So let's see what they say differently.
We saw it in the OJ trial that the more individuals that are involved in the gathering of evidence, the more holes that a defense attorney can poke through. And that's why when you have this vast team that, frankly, they're trying to do everything they could, they're certainly trying their best to do it. But gathering the evidence, it has to be done very methodically, very carefully, and to the point so that there are no mistakes, and the defense really has little time whatsoever to really poke those holes. So that's going to be key. It's interesting because the parents Kaylee Concave's parents were on Fox this week on Lawrence Jones' show, and they talked about what was told to them by the investigators. One, exactly what you said, that there was a lot of DNA evidence left behind. So that has to be ferreted out to see if there's any DNA that is actually from the killer himself or herself. And two,
You heard that? Herself. What if it was oh my God. What if it was a woman? I mean, come on, let's not forget about the crazy one in Florida.
That's true.
they started to rule out some of the individuals that was initially a focus. We heard a lot about phone calls being made by Kaylee Concaves to her ex-boyfriend, and the parents were adamant that there's no way that the boyfriend could have been involved. So you have this participation by the families trying to rule out some of the individuals that are in this universe, at least the suspects of what could have happened.
Mercedes, I got to go. I want to get your take on, do you believe this was a targeted attack from what you've seen?
That's such a great question. I did, until there was a revelation on another show, on Martha's show just last week, where it was discovered by one of the friends that said, well, actually, there was a door that was open pretty much all the time. People can come and go into that house. It was known as a party house. So that's obviously problematic for the investigators, because they can really narrow down their universe if they think it's connected to the 4 kids. Now that it could be a stranger, it's much broader.
Known as a party house, and a lot of kids knew the code to get in there. Mercedes Cohen, always great to have you on. Thank you.
All right. On Kara's
I'm listening.
On Kara's actual background, it's not showing, it hasn't updated, but I do have a copy of her arrest and charges.
Oh, well, please show us.
I will do that for you.
That is interesting.
Un momento, it's being obstreperous.
Take your time.
That's okay. No, it's because I put it in the Word document, and it doesn't like me sharing a Word document for some reason. There it is. All right. Can you see it? Yeah. All right. So here we go. Kara Denise Canoodle. She was arrested on November 19th at 9:08 p.m. And she has...
Holy shit.
These charges against her. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charges. 2 charges there. Warrant of detention. 1, 2, 3 charges there. She had a bond of $50,000 on that one, and another bond of $50,000 on that one. So,
wow.
And she was incarcerated on the 20th of November at 1 minute past 12 in the morning. So whether somebody, I mean, where she lives in Idaho, she doesn't live that far away from the university. So whether, I'm just saying, putting it out there, so whether somebody got wind of, hey girl, whether somebody got wind of her mum having drugs and maybe thought, maybe like mother like daughter, which doesn't mean that's the case. We know that, but not everybody believes it. I don't know. But apart from that, she's got nothing on her background prior to that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there before.
I mean, I don't feel like that could possibly be. I mean, it's a coincidence, but do you think it was like one of those arrests made so they can find out? Gen X said maybe somebody that was kicked out of the well, this was not a sorority house.
No.
Yeah, this was not a sorority house. This was an off-campus house.
And I don't
Okay,
know
Kaz. Kaz,
sorry.
I need 2 minutes. I got to get the little baby to sleep. Take over for him for 2 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pull up the other profile. That's a longer interview of this man. That interesting what he says.
All right. One of my other theories, guys, and I'd love to know what you guys think. I know the police have said they've cleared the other person that was actually physically staying there. Her first name's Dylan. Now, there's been a bit of controversy of which bedroom Dylan was actually sleeping in. And I don't know, I just got strange vibes about her. I like Marcy, she gets the spider senses. I don't know, she just gives me weird vibes about the photographs that she posted online with Kaylee, the matching tattoos. Just really weird. You know, I don't know why I've got this vibe about her. I mean, yeah, Rubu in charge, watch out. It's just this weird gut feeling I've got that I don't know this woman. She's not a woman, she's still a kid. I don't know this young adult. I never met her. It's just this uneasy feeling I have about her. I mean, if she was in the bedroom that she was supposed to be in, which is the smallest bedroom in the house, she should have heard what was going on in the bedroom above her, where where Madison was sleeping. Now, like I said the other day, if you're larriking about or having fun, yahooing and carrying on after a night of drinking, screaming is different to a piercing scream of being murdered. And when they said they were killed in their sleep, the initial stab of pain, the burning, searing pain a stab makes, unless they killed them in the first stab in the heart, through the back, they wouldn't have died the first stab. So it would have jolted them awake. It may have disabled them, but the amount of stab wounds that they had, which we don't know the total number of that each person has because the autopsy results haven't been released. But say if they had a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 10, that's a lot of stab wounds. And this person's got to have a lot of stamina to do 4 times. To do this 4 times. I know adrenaline kicks in, but that takes a lot of adrenaline. And I also was thinking, if this knife never had a hilt on the top of the knife, they've got to have been cut themselves, because any knife becomes very slippy. Even when you yourself at home, when you're cutting up chicken, for example, I myself have to keep washing the handle of the knife because it becomes wet and uncomfortable, and I have to keep washing it and drying it off because it becomes slippy. Well, if you can imagine, well, I don't want you to imagine, but if you were doing this to somebody, the handle's going to get wet and slippy, and your hand is going to slide off the handle, and you're going to cut yourself, unless there was a hilt on their top of the top of the blade. So that person's going to have some cuts on their hand. That's my thinking. What do you think, Mark?
Oh, definitely. I said that the other night. I think I might have said it last night. No, we talked about the Walmart shooting last night. But I was actually trying to see. They say that it takes 8 to 10 pounds of pressure to put the knife through the skin, the muscle, and the bone.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're doing that 4 to 10 times on each person, on an average, that's a lot of effort and energy to do it. And then you've got to go from the second floor. You've got 2 people on the third floor, then come down to the second floor and do it again to 2 more people. That's a lot of expelled energy. Yes, you're running off adrenaline, I would say, but I need to get some water. Sweat up. Go back here.
All right, go ahead. So I was like just looking at this is crazy. This was talking about, I mean, like Kaz was saying, I mean, the only thing I can think of why there was no screaming or you didn't hear is that the first stab wound had to have put the person down, because I think they would have been people screaming. So this girl is saying that she got stabbed 2 times directly in the stomach. At the moment I have stabbed, I have felt heavy pressure and I immediately fell on the ground at the moment. The wound doesn't permit me to move this side and that side. And the meanwhile, bleeding started heavily from my stomach. That's the moment I came to know the pain of the wounds. Frankly speaking, I have prayed to God to take away my life too quickly. Yeah, I bet it's painful. I mean, I've never been stabbed. She went in unconsciousness slowly. I don't know what happened after that. Thank God my life was saved by a person named Harris. But they say it takes 8 to 10 pounds of pressure to stab somebody. Hey, Dia, Bethany, and Dylan. It was 2 females. Is Dylan the female's name? I'm not sure. Let me see 1 second. Yes. 2 University of Idaho students who survived the crazed knife attack that left 4 of their friends deceased at their shared off-campus rental house. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk.
Yeah. It's still on.
Okay, so let's watch the male profiler. I found this to be interesting. But he swears.
Oh, Gail, I'm so sorry to hear this. Someone stabbed 15 times. Oh, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, Dia, we've got a video to show you about this Johnny who breaks this. It's amazing. Wait till you see this video. But first, we're going to go with the Idaho 4 and him right here.
Yeah, this is the guy I was telling you about, Mark.
Get out of my head. But I wanted
Sorry.
to hear
soft mineral melted in your mouth.
I wanted to hear her too. Because she says she said, but this is interesting.
and former LAPD detective and Fox News contributor Mark Furman. He lives a couple of hours away from the University of Idaho. Mark, it's always great to have you on. I mean, I want to look and put this on the screen. This is the staffing for the investigation. Moscow Police Department, 4 detectives, 24 patrol officers. The FBI, 22 investigators in Moscow, 2 behavior analysis unit. Idaho State Police, 20 investigators, 15 troopers. It looks to me, Mark, like this is an all hands on deck situation. And yet we're hearing stories about some neighbors who have not been interviewed. And that this is kind of a slow moving investigation. But you think this investigation is moving along very well?
Well, I think it's moving along well because they immediately established a task force and brought in leadership and expertise for specific areas like blood spatter analysis, profiling a suspect, anything that they could work with the scene. They also relieved, the Idaho State Police relieved all the Moscow officers and detectives to be able to work specifically on this homicide. So there was some great leadership trends going on there. And there's also the ability for them, and which they did. They worked from the center and they radiated out from there and accounted for the 4 victims' whereabouts from the last time they were seen alive to the point where they were murdered at their residence. So they have completed this. And now they're radiating out from there, asking help from the public and trying to go to more remote areas of interest, which could be surveillance cameras, residence ring cameras, vehicles that might have been in the area. So they're doing this properly. It sometimes takes time, but unfortunately hasn't elicited any possibles.
You talk about blood spatter, Mark, and I'm interested in the crime scene because we have a parent who came out and said that investigators told him this was a sloppy scene, it was a mess, and there clearly was blood spatter everywhere in the theme of the crimes. But if they get DNA and this suspect, whoever they may be, is not in the system, can they use genetic genealogy to try and attach this person to the DNA to somebody?
Well, the Golden State Killer was caught exactly that way, but that's a long way down the road. First, blood spatter analysis has got to establish which victim was first, second, third, and fourth, and they can do that. And they can do that fairly rapidly because it's not a scientific test. It's basically using trigonometry and a lot of calculations at the scene. So tomorrow at the press conference, I think that we should deal with what facts we know, and I think so should the press conference, and try to stimulate the public to work on what they can and remembering what they can. And one of those things tomorrow should be why they think somebody was targeted. Of course, if you're a victim of a crime, you're always targeted, but that's not the point. If it was so specific that they can actually establish who the first victim was that was stabbed, if they can establish anything else, I think they should relay that to the public so they can work on it. The second thing is, let's go back to the murder weapon. The coroner and the pathologist, working in conjunction with each other, established that the victims were all killed with the same weapon, which was a military-style survival type of Bowie knife. Right. So they know this because of a few reasons, and this is a little graphic, but this is the knife that they were looking at, this style of knife, and this hilt right here. Yep. When you're in the autopsy, this hilt, when a victim is stabbed with this knife, causes a bruising, and that's how they knew they had this style of a knife.
Well, that answers that question.
So, reestablishing the facts tomorrow in the press conference might help people to work on things over the holiday that otherwise they wouldn't. I think.
And also, I read that the blade has got to be 8 inches minimum to penetrate the flesh, the muscle, the bone, and to go to the heart. 8 inches minimum. And it says right here, How much blade length is necessary? Oh, sorry. How much blade length is necessary to stab into the aorta? With a blade, that's a good 20 centimeters. I'm going to do it so you understand, babe. 8 inches, there's more than enough reach. So anywhere in the middle will hit any number of half of dozen or so major organs and arteries. 8 inches. Ugh. Yeah, you got a little feedback.
That's one of the ways we're going to be able to move this.
No, you're good. I think it's because of the video. That's why I mute down the video on my microphone so that feedback stays back.
Forward if we can.
Mark, that's great analysis. We'll get back to you as the news warrants. Thank you for coming on.
So he feels that it was a male. And the only thing I can see is that male could not have been a stalker in the perverted way. Let's check into comments. Lynn, yes, alleged he could go onto the window. Yeah, well, the next video we're going to watch this house, and there's 2 sliding glass doors. And it wouldn't take somebody too much time to, if they had upper body strength, to pull up onto that back patio. But then, of course, what about that ladder?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, okay. I found this video so amazing. This guy is so awesome. Gonna drop the link. It was the one I showed you in the beginning where I went over like a nice girl and asked him for permission. He called me Monica. That's okay. I like Monica.
Yeah, you could be a Monica.
This guy kind of reminds me of the older talk show host. I forget what his name was. You guys tell me who you think. Can't remember his name, but he reminds me of him. What was his name?
I know who you're referring to. I just can't think of his name. When you said talk show host, Jay Leno came to mind because I've been following
Not
his
Jay Leno.
Oh, the reason I said Jay Leno is because he got burnt really badly in a fire, and I've just been following.
No, I can't. No, I can't, Jess. Thought it started with a D, like a David or... Okay, I can't remember. It will come to me. You hear that wind?
I can't hear anything over my fan at the moment.
I'm telling you, if I disappear, I'm going to be in Kansas. At someone's front door, please take me in. Not Geraldo. He was a talk show host, late night. Okay. Since I asked for permission, we do not have to talk every 15 seconds. It's 16 minutes long. So really, guys, I'm just going to let it play through.
It's worth every 16 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not even going to speed it up. We're going to play it through, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, and then we'll get into the article that Lynn sent us.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to break down the house, 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, where there was a quadruple murder of the University of Idaho students.
Hey, Pamela.
I've been getting a lot of questions on my previous videos, which I'll link up here, in regards to how can the 2 girls that were downstairs not hear what was going on in the above floors. So there's a lot of speculation about that. And I don't know if people really understand the flow of this house based on what the news has put out there. So I've decided to maybe help you understand it a little bit in my own words and how I can break this down. I got some photos to compare it to. So if you're interested in seeing the flow of this house and how it's laid out, then keep watching the video. And if you haven't checked out my other 2 videos where I discuss it, I'll link them up above. All right, so let's get to it. This is going to be an interactive video. I have my iPad here with some pictures, so I'm going to be looking down a little bit and writing on an iPad. And to do that, I need to be able to see my iPad, so I have to put on some glasses because I'm getting that age, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the house. First thing we want to look at is the overall drone shot that I think probably the news media shot. And as you're going to see, this is a 3-story dwelling. This section right here was the original section, and this section was added later on. Okay, so this is floor 1. This is floor 2. 1 and 2. We're going to consider this 3. There's actually a drop down in here. It's a little step, but I'm going to break it down a little bit more for you. So that's the overall shot of the house. So let's take a look at a sketch that was provided to me, apparently by the property management. It is obviously not to scale, but in comparing this to a lot of the Zillow photos, it is pretty accurate in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here so everybody can see this real closely. Now you can see we have the front door here that's from the street where all the cars were parked out here. You go into the first floor, second floor, and as I said earlier, there's a little step down in here. This was an addition that was put on. So this is still part of the second floor, but that's why it's in blue. And then the third level here. All right, I'm going to walk you through going through the front door. So let's enter the door. Immediately to your left, there is a set of stairs. These stairs take you up to level 2. There's a hallway with a bathroom straight ahead and a laundry room inside of there. Then we go to bedroom 1A. Now 1A, we think, is Bethany's room. 1A looks like this inside. Here is one angle to Bethany's room. Here's where you come in the front door, and this is what the room looks like. This is, I'm assuming, either a bathroom closet, or I don't know if this is the bathroom or this is the bathroom, but one of those is a bathroom and one of them is probably a closet. It's not really easy to tell. But that is one angle of that room where Bethany's is. Here's another angle. There's the window where all the cars are parked out front. And if you look up in the left-hand corner here, this is the angle to the stairs. So the stairs, this is where the stairs would go up to that additional floor, if that makes sense. Bedroom 1B. Bedroom 1B, you break to the right and it ends up over there. Let's take a look at bedroom 1B. Now 1B is an interesting room. To me, it seems like it is the smallest room in the house. So if there's a 6-bedroom house.
Yes, Lynn, he is in the description, and I also I tagged him. And I asked him for permission. Kaz, you got a little feedback when the video plays.
I'm sorry, I'll mute myself.
Yeah, I mute myself too, because I don't know why it gets feedback when the video. It's only when the video plays, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not turning the fan off. It's 102 here today.
I don't want you to turn it off.
Well, I'll mute myself.
You should be naked too.
And it's full, and you are stuck with this bedroom 1B, and one of the other rooms opened up. I would think that you may want to get out of this room and go up to a warmer floor that's a bigger bedroom. It's my assumption. Maybe that doesn't happen. Now, I don't know who's occupying this room. Now, it's either got to be Dylan or nobody. All right.
See, that is the 6th room that we were talking about the other day. That's empty, that nobody lives in. You know, we got 5 girls living in the house. 1 has the boyfriend over, and there's 6 bedrooms. That's what he's explaining right there.
Yeah.
So this is floor bedroom 1B. All right. Here's another angle. This is the street view, as you can see right here. Let's go up the stairs to floor number 2. All right. So here is floor 2. So coming up the stairs, we are now on level 2. You button hook to the right. That is the living room. There is a bathroom here and bedroom, which is labeled 2B. is what we're assuming is Zaina and Ethan's bedroom, not Ethan, but Zaina's, where Ethan was sleeping.
That's his link.
That is by
guys,
social
above.
media accounts and friends. Across here is another bedroom, 2A. Same floor. But this is where we don't know if this room is vacant, because there is obviously one room that's vacant. There are social media pictures of Dylan in this room, several in this room, that indicate that she may have switched rooms from downstairs from 1B, which I showed you earlier, up to 2A. Unconfirmed, but it would make sense if a lot of recent pictures are being shown with her in that bedroom. Why is that important? Now, if we look at the diagram here, we can see that above 1A, directly above 1A, is no rooms at all. It's a living room. So directly above, there's nobody there. There's no noise being made above. There's nothing above 1A. If 1B is vacant, then below 2B is nothing. Nobody in 1B to hear anything in 2B. If Dylan is not in this room, but she's up now in 2A. Now, if Dylan is in 1B, then she could potentially hear things in 2B above her. If Dylan is in 1B, she may be able to hear things in 2B. Maybe not. I don't know the structure of the house, the construction, how well it's insulated. Is she sleeping with the fan? I don't know any of that information. Only investigators know that. But in the position of the house, if there is someone there, there will be somebody directly above them. But if she is not, and she is up here in 2A, then she's not going to hear that. Let's stick to 2B. Let's stick to the second floor. So we have Zaina and Ethan in that room. There's a little step down that I showed you earlier that's still part of the second floor. So it steps down into this area here. This is where the kitchen, sink, and all of those things are located. So the second floor, we have the back patio, which anybody can walk up here and enter there. This back patio enters the kitchen. Here's the kitchen. You see the back patio here. You come up the gravel, access to the sliding glass door to the kitchen here. Here's another picture of the kitchen. You see the pillars right here and the layout of the kitchen itself. Here's floor 2 that I talked about. This is coming up the stairs from below, button hooks into this living room. You see here to the bottom right, this is that little step down. You see the step that goes here and then down. Another shot.
Amazing.
You come up these stairs from up here. You button hook living room. Keep button hook. That is Zaina's room, where Ethan and her were most likely sleeping. Unconfirmed, but most likely. Then there's a bathroom on the other side of that wall. Here's the street view from where people were. Okay, let's stick to 2B just for a minute. Now, everybody has seen the photos of the red substance that's down the back of the wall. I wanted to point that out on where this is in relationship to the house and the bedrooms that are inside. So here on 2B, this area right here that you see is about the area where those stains are found along the wall. Whether it's blood or not blood, the red stains that are there, that's the proximity of this bedroom. Whether the bed was laid out in this fashion or the bed was laid out in that fashion were unknown. Okay, so I hope that makes sense about where that is in position. Now I'm going to show you another picture of the outside of the residence where this is located, where 2B and the outside of that is located.
This video
There's been
is
some
brilliant.
comments back and forth about how did it go 2 stories down.
Yeah, that's why I sent it to you, Melvin.
You know, people have been calling it blood. As an investigator, we don't identify substances just by looking at
I know you did, but the funny thing is I had already seen it and messaged him.
Go figure.
Oh my gosh, we are so in each other's heads.
Them. We call them suspected. In this case, suspected blood. We
Put your
could
mic
field
on
test
mute, babe.
that, but
Sorry.
until it is collected, sent to a lab, we're not going to call it blood. We're going to call it suspected blood or a red substance, red liquid substance. So let me just say that this red liquid substance that gravity pulled down is located at this area. And I want to show you that it's not traveling a large amount of distance. Okay. All right. I'm going to take you back to the drone footage. And now that you know at least floors 1 and 2, I'm going to show you where these stains were and how far they traveled. So I'm going to zoom in here. And this is the area right here where those are. As you can see, if I pan out a little bit, there is dirt and ground and earth right up to that point. So this area right here is where I was talking about the bedroom with Zaina and where Ethan was probably staying. So that is the room in relationship to the house. And that stain that you're seeing is right there. I'm going to show you another picture. Okay. Now this picture is just a close up of the same one you just saw pulled out. You can see it's not very far from the ground. I mean, the ground level is right here, and this is the bottom. And there's also a pipe here that is located. Now, it is kind of particular that this pattern of red fluid is
like
going
blood.
down in this direction here. In this little section here, it looks like the fluid possibly came over the top because the next staining pattern is down below that appears to be the same texture and consistency of that this may have started here, gone over, and then gravity took it back to the house and it came down. So we don't know what that is, or I shouldn't say we, the investigators may by now know what that is based on their testing, their field testing or lab results. But we're just speculating at this point, if anything, because evidence is going to speak for itself, and you never want to jump to conclusions on anything. So that's why we're calling it what they're calling it, and what the investigators, I don't even know if they've called it anything. I haven't even seen anything. It's just been the media and social calling this blood, but it's suspected blood potentially, or it could just be a red surface, and that there's something that's in that pipe that we don't know about. Okay. So I'm going to take you now from the second floor to the third floor. All right, let's take a look. So we are here on the second floor. We're going to go up these stairs here. These stairs take you up, and they button hook around and come up to this hallway. You button hook to the left. This is on the diagram 3B, which is suspected Kaylee's room. You button hook to the right. There is a bath here, and this is Maddie's bedroom. Whether they were there at the time on November 13th is unconfirmed. More than likely, if that is their bedroom, then that is most likely where they were sleeping. There are pictures of Maddie here with an M in the window and some purple boots. So if that's, following with that pieces of evidence, if those are her boots and she's seen with those boots, as well as the M for Maddie, it would lead one to believe this is probably where she was located. We don't know any positions of them throughout the house. This is just, if it's your bedroom and you were sleeping there, that is potentially most likely where you were sleeping, but it's unconfirmed. So we're not jumping to any conclusion. The only one that knows where those dear souls were sleeping are the crime scene investigators and detectives that went into that house, and the coroner. That is the only people that know where they were located in this house. So don't jump to any conclusions, but that's the way the house is laid out. So I'm going to show you one more thing. So once again, I'm just going to point out a couple things on hearing something in the house. So let's break it down to floors 2 and 3 now. So let's look at 2. If Dylan is not in this bedroom,
this guy is brilliant.
Then
well, he's an investigator by profession, so
there's nobody below to hear that.
Yes. Everyone, I did drop his link. I'll drop it again. Please sub up and tell your friends too. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I agree.
He
I've already
reminds me.
subbed.
I like profiling evil too. I like Mike
Yeah,
King.
I subbed to Mike.
Yeah, I think he's a very respectful man, and I do like him. Okay, let's continue. It's almost over.
That happening. Below Kaylee's bedroom is a kitchen, so nobody's down there to hear anything on level 3. If Dylan is in 2A, then the potential for her to hear something in 3A is there, because it's directly
Listen
above
to
her.
this part.
Whether she could or not, that's what investigators have to follow up on and question her on. There may be other external factors that we don't know about, so we're not going to jump to conclusions. But I hope this video was helpful on just a little bit of a walkthrough of the house itself, so you can get an idea. Outside photos don't always show the true workings of the layout. It shows the blueprint, but not so much the layout. So I hope this video was helpful for you to clear up a couple different things. And if you want to check out the videos that I did before, I'm going to leave them on the end screen or one of the cards up above here. And if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them on the YouTube channel. I'm going to try to get to all the comments that I can. But I appreciate you guys, and let's keep praying for the families, for some peace and for justice for them, and for the investigators that are
What a nice man.
just killing themselves trying to figure out who did this heinous crime. Doing this for 25 years, there's nothing more that motivates you than nabbing somebody and
Let's go real quick and see, because I did not see the other ones. He's got 2 of them, and they're short. You guys want to watch them?
Yeah, I didn't watch the other ones. I just saw that one. Interesting to see.
If you guys want to watch,
everybody. Today, unfortunately,
if you guys want to watch 2 more videos, it's about 12, 13, 14. 16 minutes altogether. Hello, sweet Melissa. Yeah, he's great. I have not seen, for some reason, it was funny because this morning I was scrolling through YouTube and he happened to pop up in my recommendation, that one video. And I watched it. And then I went ahead and asked him if I could use it in a live. And then when I got back home, Kaz had sent it to me and I was like, too funny. And then I sent her the screenshot of me messaging Johnny and asking him to if I could use it. Okay, here we go.
I'm going to talk about.
You know what, guys? I'm not going to stop it. Let's just go ahead and listen to it through, and I'll pin some comments because I just want to hear. I haven't heard this one yet.
And break down what I see in the quadruple murder in.
All right,
Moscow,
Kaz, you got
Idaho,
a micro.
Oh, sorry, darling. Sorry.
There that go to
we
the
got a
University of
micro
Idaho.
mutes.
Now, these beautiful souls are Kaylee Concaves, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. They're all students at University of Idaho, and they live off campus. They don't all live there, but they stay at a house over on King Road. This is a 3-story, 6-bedroom house. They live there with a couple other people, and there's a Ethan. First, they thought that Ethan lived there, but actually he doesn't. I guess he's just staying there. At least that's what the reports are saying. So all these people are in this house. Well, Sunday, November 13th is a different story. So let me break down the timeline. Now, around 10 o'clock, Kaylee and Maddie, they go to a corner club over on Main Street, downtown there in Moscow. Now, Kaylee and Maddie, they leave there about 1:30 or so. They head over to this grub truck. It's just a roach coach, that we call it. And they're going to get some food. This is about 1:40. They're reported being seen over there. Then Ethan and Xana at the same time, they're attending a Sigma Chi party around 8 o'clock or so. Now, they are seen arriving back at the house, or they think they're going to be arriving back at the house around 1:45 a.m. Now, I don't know what happens between, 9 o'clock. I think they were at the party maybe an hour. And then from 9 o'clock to 1:45, I don't know. Reports haven't come in yet about what they were doing. However, Kaylee and Maddie, they go to the grub truck, they get something to eat, and then they end up back at the house over on King Road about 1:45 as well. Now they were seen at 1:41, so that's like a 4-minute deal. So at first I was like, why? How did it take 4 minutes to get there? Then reports came in later on that they got a ride from a friend. So somebody, a third party, drove them back to the house. So that's where the story picks up. So around noon the next day, 911 call comes in. It comes in the 911 dispatch center, and they said there's somebody down that's unconscious. So police respond out to the house. They get there. They don't see any signs of forced entry. They make entry into the house. And they see 4 murdered people with blood everywhere. King Road. This is a 3-story, 6.
Yeah, I said all that. You didn't even hear me. Hello, Money Moves. I've never seen you before. Nice to see you. Kaz, I dropped something very interesting in private chat. If you want to check it out real quick, and after these videos, it's very short. Maybe you can read it with your sexy accent about stalking statistics. Oh, shit.
House. They live there with a couple other people. And there's Ethan. First, they thought that Ethan lived there, but actually he doesn't. I guess he's just staying there. At least that's what the reports are saying. So all these people are in this house. Well, Sunday, November 13th is a different story. So let me break down the timeline. Now, around 10 o'clock, Kaylee and Maddie, they go to a corner club over on Main Street, downtown there in Moscow. Now, Kaylee and Maddie, they leave there about 1:30 or so. They head over to this grub truck. It's just a roach coach, that we call it, and they're going to get some food. This is about 1:40. They're reported being seen.
A roach coach.
Then Ethan and Xana at the same time, they're attending a Sigma Chi party around 8 o'clock or so. Now they are seen arriving back at the house, or they think they're going to be arriving back at the house around 1.
Johnny Law, if you happen to listen to this video, please come over and join us on the show. We would love to talk to you.
45 a.m. Now, I don't know what happens between, 9 o'clock. I think they were at the party maybe an hour. And then from 9 o'clock to 1:45, I don't know. Reports haven't come in yet about what they were doing. However, Kaylee and Maddie, they go to the grub truck. They get something to eat. And then they end up back at the house over on King Road about 1:45 as well. Now they were seen at 1:41, so that's like a 4-minute deal. So at first I was like, why? How did it take 4 minutes to get there? Then reports came in later on that they got a ride from a friend. So somebody, a third party, drove them back to the house. So that's where the story picks up. So around noon the next day, 911 call comes in. It comes in the 911 dispatch center, and they said there's somebody down that's unconscious. So police respond out to the house. They get there. They don't see any signs of forced entry. They make entry into the house, and they see 4 murdered people with blood everywhere. The victims were found on the second
Lynn,
and third
I
floor
was
of
just
the
going to
house.
say
So
that
I'm not
afterwards. It was
sure
at
who was on
Uber.
what floor. The reports haven't come in yet. So we got, for me, 2 different locations, which is, if you're going to kill 4 people, that's and they're not all together, that's 2 different time and place incidents to me. So of course everybody responds out there. Law enforcement gets out there. They call out everybody. In my experience, being working several homicides myself, we call everybody, and it's a slow moving process. Students at University of Idaho, and they
Lynn, I think this video was actually out before about the Uber came out. This was on, how do you find it? November 20th when he did this video. I'm not sure if the Uber was out then, but
live off campus. They don't all live there, but they stay at a house over on King Road, This is a 3-story, 6-bedroom house. They live there with a couple other people. And there's a Ethan. First, they thought that Ethan lived there, but actually he doesn't. I guess he's just staying there. At least that's what the reports are saying. So all these people are in this house. Well, Sunday, November 13th is a different story. So let me break down the timeline. Now, around 10 o'clock, Kaylee and Maddie, they go to a corner club over on Main Street, downtown there in Moscow. Now, Kaylee and Maddie, they leave there about 1:30 or so. They head over to this grub truck. It's just a roach coach, that we call it. And they're going to get some food. This is about 1:40. They're reported being seen over there. Then Ethan and Xana at the same time, they're attending a Sigma Chi party around 8 o'clock or so. Now, they are seen arriving back at the house, or they think they're going to be arriving back at the house around 1:45 a.m. Now, I don't know what happens between 9 o'clock. I think they were at the party maybe an hour. And then from 9 o'clock to 1:45, I don't know. Reports haven't come in yet about what they were doing. However, Kaylee and Maddie, they go to the grub truck. They get.
Kaz, if you want me to pause it, just tell me to pause.
I'm just memorized by this guy. I'm just watching him. I am truly memorized by him. I like the fact that he's a professional CSI guy and he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, and he's definitely, he's got his facts. His presentation is off the chart. And like I said, I would love to have him up and talk to him.
Oh, yeah, it'd be awesome if we could get him up. Really would.
Yeah, it would be great to have him on just to talk about. Yeah, he's definitely very, he's smart. You can tell he's meticulous. He's got the facts that he knows. He lays it out, but he doesn't assume. He speculates a little, but on what we speculate on, like what could it be? But that thing in private chat was interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Get something to eat, and then they end up back at the house over on King Road about 1:45 as well. Now they were seen at 1:41, so that's like a 4-minute deal. So at first I was like, why? How did it take 4 minutes to get there? Then reports came in later on that they got a ride from a friend. So somebody, a third party, drove them back to the house.
Money.
So that's
I
where
didn't
the story
know that.
picks up. So around noon the next day, 911 call comes in. It comes in the 911 dispatch center, and they said there's somebody down that's unconscious. So police respond out to the house. They get there. They don't see any signs of forced entry. They make entry into the house, and they see 4 murdered people with blood everywhere. The victims were found on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the house. So I'm not sure who was on what floor. The reports haven't come in yet. So we got, for me, 2 different locations, which is, if you're going to kill 4 people, that's and they're not all together, that's 2 different time and place incidents to me. So of course, everybody responds out there. Law enforcement gets out there. They call out everybody. In my experience, being working several homicides myself, we call everybody, and it's a slow moving process, right? I mean, it's kind of a freeze the scene. There was 2 witnesses in the house, the 2 girls. They, as of this point, had been ruled out as not suspects in the case or even persons of interest. They were just there, said they didn't hear
I like
anything.
the way he says at this stage.
Depending on.
I like that. That's what I said. At this stage, they've been ruled out. But it's just something about Dylan. I don't know what it is. It's just something. I don't know what. No, carry on, darling. Ma, you can press place for that.
Yeah, I was letting you finish. I was counting to 3. Yeah, he's great. Yeah. He's meticulous. He's going on the facts that they're giving him with his experience. He lays it out in a very people-friendly manner so that we understand it, and he makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he sure does.
Where they were on the floor, 3-story house. They could have been on the bottom or the top. I don't know where their bedrooms or where they sleep at. They could have been intoxicated, not heard it. There's been other homicide cases that I've known of where there's been multiple murders and the people that were in the house didn't hear any of it until the alarm was sounded. So it's not uncommon to hear that, but it does raise some questions on why they didn't hear them.
Absolutely.
So police are going to get there. They're going to do some investigating, right? They're going to be looking for points of entry. There was apparently a lockbox on the front door that has a code. So either somebody had to go know the code and go into the front door, being, now that they know the people there.
Also, I keep asking, and this is one thing I have to know in the end is, I wonder how often the code was changed on that lockbox.
Exactly. I mean, I worked for a real estate company for a long time in my 30s, and it was supposed to be changed every time a new person came into the property, even if the other tenants were still residing in there. If a new person came into the property, the code must be changed. Now, whether that was adhered to by, if it was through a rental agency or not, or how many times did the girls give out the code?
The codes, exactly. You would think that even if it wasn't a new tenant or a new roomie college kid moving in, you would still think that those codes should probably be changed monthly, if not weekly.
The problem with some of those code pads, and I know this from experience, is some are very easy to change. Some you have to get a registered locksmith in to come and do it manually, which can be quite expensive, which deters a lot of landlords and a lot of real estate agencies from doing it on a regular basis. So, that probably could be a thing of why it may not have been changed on a regular basis. But again, it doesn't stop them from giving the code out, unfortunately.
Yeah. And of giving the code out, and who knows how old the code was. But the thing, and I know this, I feel crazy every time I say this, but they're going on, somebody was targeted, somebody was a stalker. But I'm sorry, if I can't imagine a perverted stalker stalking them, going in there, and absolutely no essay involved. It just, and then now we find out that Xana's mother was arrested. But this is definitely sad and bizarre, and I hope they find them or she very soon.
For them to whoever, sorry, darling.
No, go ahead.
For whomever did this had big kahunas, because to think that they if they didn't know 5 people were in that residence at the time, they went in there, they killed initially 2 people, found another 2 people, killed them. How did they know how many other people were in there? They could have called the 911 after the first 2 people were killed. How did they know that they weren't heard murdering the first 2? How did they know that the 911 hadn't been called already? To go and find another person and kill that person, how did they know that the 911 wasn't on the way? There is such what's the word I'm looking for? The gall and the tenacity of them doing one after another, and then thinking, I'm going to get away with this. I'm not going to get caught. The police aren't on the way, is mind blowing. And then they walk out of the house and walk away from the scene. And
exactly. So you have to wonder, did that person even know that the 2 roommates existed below?
Exactly. Gail, Zana's mum, got arrested for drug charges and was put in jail on the 19th of November.
What did you just say? Big kahunas?
Yeah, I did say big kahunas. It's been a long time since you showed that.
Big kahunas.
Oh my
I
gosh,
think I saw a squirrel.
it's been a
With
long time since that picture's been flashed.
squirrel with big kahunas.
Uh,
Hey, what are you doing on my... Hey, Cass, I think I saw a squirrel.
yeah. Oh, Jim Terry's in the house.
No, does it say... Nope, that's Mr. X.
Ah, hi, Mr. X. He said,
hello, Mr. X. Would you like to join us? I sent you a link to your phone. Or I could put it in here. He won't talk. He'll just sit here and be mysterious. Okay, let's finish this great video.
Going through a window. So what CSI is going to do, they're going to take all the endpoints.
No. No.
Do you spend over $100 a month shopping online?
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, welcome, everybody. Today, unfortunately, I'm going to talk about between, 9 o'clock. I think they were found on the second and third floor of the house. So I'm not sure who was on what floor. The reports haven't come in yet. So we got, for me, 2 different locations, which is, if you're going to kill 4 people, that's and they're not all together, that's 2 different.
You're way past there too, darling.
So of course, everybody responds out there. Law enforcement gets out
there.
They call out everybody.
You were way past there.
Being working several homicides myself, we call everybody, and it's a slow-moving process, right? I mean, it's kind of a freeze the scene. There was 2 witnesses in the house.
Oh, we weren't there yet.
They're going to take all these entry points. They're going to be.
We're past Dylan and Bethany.
Know the code and go into the front door.
Okay, now you see these shoes that they're putting on to protect their shoes right now?
Yep.
They're almost made out of the same material that they were making the COVID masks out of. They're like elasticy. They kind of just slip on what they wear in the hospital. But wouldn't you think that even wearing something like that with all that blood, that it would still leave some type of print through the material? Where were we, Kaz? Show me. 5 minutes in?
Yeah, stop there.
Okay, here we go.
Very, very common in a scene. I've been to homicide scenes where it looked like somebody took in a sprinkler and sprinkled blood.
I don't remember him saying
this. No, go back a bit further.
Is the joint operation.
They're
going to, obviously make entry into the house. They're going to call the coroners. They're going to lock that down. It's a very, very slow process. The coroner is going to be in there, and she's going to make her determination of cause of death. Initially, what it appears to be. They're going to bag hands. That's very, very important. They're going to do that with paper bags, and that's, we usually just put those over the hands and strap them down or tape them down, because we're looking for evidence of any skin cells or DNA that might be under the fingernails if they fought back. That's very, very, very important. When they get the
Did you pause it, or is it just stalled?
No, I'm telling Money, be yourself, chat, talk. Everyone in here is great. There's no drama. Nobody ever gets kicked out because we just don't have assholes in here. Everyone is nice. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. We talk about them. We respect everyone's opinion. And we're just a little good group of people. Over 50 people I kick out of chat. I don't like more than 50 people in here. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I like to talk and chat with everyone.
She doesn't really kick them out, though.
So definitely, Money, don't be afraid to say anything in here.
The body's out, then the investigation is going to continue. Now, according to the coroner, I think her name is McButt, she said, quote, "There's lots of blood on the wall," and that they appeared to be multiple stab wounds to each body, and but she wouldn't say how many wounds there were. Very, very common in a scene. I've been to homicide scenes where it looked like somebody took in a sprinkler and sprinkled blood all over because the heart is still pumping and somebody's fighting. Now, this is going to be one of those investigations where they're really going to have to look at blood pattern analysis, cast off from the weapon, blood drops. Now, the suspect could have been hurt in this struggle and when he's doing these murders as well. He or she could have cut themselves, and now their blood is into the blood of the victims.
Wow, he said it
and there's
too.
a certain pattern that can happen as well when you see that kind of they're doing that analysis. That's going to take quite a bit of time. A lot of photographs. There's software out there that can do trajectories and where this is at. And we're talking about 4 victims. The coroner appears, she said, looks like it's been done by the same knife, which should have been either one assailant or, you call it what it is. It could be a couple assailants, one holding somebody down, but not necessarily using the same knife, or they could have the same knife. Now, Coroner McBuff, in her statement, she said there's lots of blood on the wall. When you're talking about blood on a wall, you're talking about ways.
Hello, Mr. X. Welcome.
Hi, Mr. X. Nice to meet you.
Maybe he went to get a drink. Okay, let's continue.
I'm still here. What's going on?
Oh, we're just inviting you up to hang out and listen to the story about the Idaho forest since you didn't know much about it.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to stay up. We just wanted to say hi to you.
Oh, I just want to say hi real quick. I don't really know much about it, but I can just watch it. I don't have to be up here, I guess.
Well, you can sit up here and watch it with us. You might have a little intake on it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, if you feel like jumping down, just jump down and we'll talk to you and chat.
Okay.
Or stay up.
It's nice to meet you anyway, Mr. X.
All right.
That can happen. That can happen with arterial spurts, and you get an artery and
we like him up here. He's so mysterious.
That specific pattern onto the wall. You can get that by the assailant taking a knife and casting it off as a knife as he's stabbing. Those kind of patterns will be on the walls and on the floors, and on the bed sheets, and on the victim themselves. So all of that blood tells a story, and the investigators will have to put that puzzle back together. So she also said that it appears that it was the same knife used to stab all the victims. Now, I think this was at the autopsy itself, and that the edged weapon appeared to be something like a K-bar. Now, I happen to have a K-bar because I was in the Marines for 8 years
in
the military before getting into
remember that knife we looked at?
Law enforcement. But this is what a K-bar is. This is what us Marines have. Okay, it is a very, very sturdy edged weapon. It's a 1095 carbon steel blade. It's powder coated.
Do you guys remember we were looking at this knife, and this was the knife that had that little serrated edge right about here?
Yeah. And
remember, it had that same exact handle. Oh gosh. I can't imagine being stabbed. I've cut my fingers, been stabbed by thumbtacks, and, being a barber for the years, I've taken knuckle skin off, but I couldn't even imagine.
And the big thing with these kind of knives, it's got a full tang to it. And full tang means that this blade goes all the way into the butt of this blade. It's one piece. So there's no weak points where this can snap. Okay, so it's very, very, very sturdy. And it's it's leather wrapped like this. And it's got a quillion right here to protect the hand. This piece right here, this bottom piece, as you can see, this quillion right here. This is to stop.
Excuse my French. Are you fucking kidding me? And that's spelled Phukin. This blade is made with a handle so your hand doesn't slip. Mr. X, you're a guy. Have you ever been around knives?
I mean, the only knife I've been around is the Rambo knife that came out, but that's about it.
But do you know about knives? And if you were, in your opinion, if you were going to stab 4 people to death using a knife like this with all of that blood, and if you had gloves on, would your hand not, do you think your hand would still not slip down that knife somehow?
I mean, it seems like, I mean, that looks like some psycho Norman Bates type shit stabbing that way. I don't know. Fucking people are crazy.
Yeah, they are. But I'm saying, do you think that that little handle could possibly stop the hand from sliding down that blade after stabbing 4 people?
No, I think it's probably, this is just a guess, but I imagine it's got to be a lot harder to kill a person than it looks like in the movies. I think your hand would slide down it. But I don't play around with a lot of knives either.
This is Johnny Law. Let me drop I'll drop his link again. Justice, his name, channel, and link are in the description of this video. Yeah, I mean, I can see he's going to explain to us that it would stop it, but even if you had that much pressure, because they say it's about 8 to 10 pounds to get the knife through the skin, the muscle, and into the artery. But maybe that part right there would have cut the perpetrator, but I'm sure he had gloves on. People are so sick.
Stop your hand from sliding, okay, or keeping it from sliding down the blade if your hand gets bloody, as I'm sure this person's hand was when they committed this crime. So this is a very, very dangerous weapon. It's used, was used in World War II, and it's been used
that looks
ever
like
since
a nasty
in the military.
knife.
So that tells you a lot about the suspect. He could have been former military or a hunter. This is a very, very common hunting knife. It's very sturdy and durable and handles well in the weather. So that's what it could potentially look like. Now, they're going to have some FBI people coming in. Obviously, the profilers are going to come in and do a big profile on this guy. And all of these factors are going to come into play with that.
Oh, cool, Money.
So where are investigators going to go from here? Now, in my experience, this is going to take quite a while, not only processing the scene inside and looking at the blood pattern analysis to figure out if it was one suspect, 2 suspects, shoe prints that are into blood into blood. That's going to tell a lot of the story and who's coming, who's coming and going. Now, they're not going to release a lot of this information. Okay.
And let's not forget that we heard it was a very messy crime scene as far as how much blood was there, and that the perpetrator left evidence. That's why I think they ran it, like I've been saying, and I just do not believe that he is in the codex system.
I had to do a lot of press releases when I was filling in for PIOs during the time, and had to.
But I also feel this is not his first crime. There is no way that you just decide that you're going to just go stab 4 college students to death and leave 2 downstairs alive.
Be really, really careful on what you can release to the public and what you can't. I'm sure there's a whole lot more that they're going to talk about. They just can't do it right now. So they're going to follow up on, maybe did anybody purchase this kind of K-bar? Is there any military surplus stores in town who recently purchased one of these in the last 3-4 months, let's say? They're going to start looking at routes coming to and from this house, probably from 1:45 until in the morning. People's ring cameras that face out towards the street, 7-Elevens, any kind of vehicles that may have been leading up to that house on the side street. I mean, everybody, they're going to do some knock and talks and try to find any kind of surveillance footage around that time for a vehicle coming and going or anybody walking in that area. And then they're going to probably check with hospitals to see if anybody has a big knife wound to their hand that may need stitches.
Don't tell Mr. X, but I have a huge crush on
stitches, which would be bad for him because they'll pick that up.
Also,
they're going to, outside of the forensic evidence, they're going to be looking for prints, a lot of trace evidence. Listen, this is a violent in-person mad crime. This is an up close and personal. This is not like a gun where if you have a gun, you can take 4 people out pretty quickly and kill them. But a knife.
Okay. So even though he just showed us the blade, he also said that there's no, I mean, it's very, very possible that that person was cut.
Well, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're putting it into someone's body and you pull it out, I mean, maybe you're in such a frantic mode that you just go past that little hand guard I mean, there's no way you're going to stab 4 people, and they say it's overkill. Well, Walmart was overkill. We don't know how many times they stabbed them, so I can't say. But if he just, did that first stab and they were sleeping and it was a kill stab, is that even a word? A kill shot, kill stab?
A fatal
Then,
stab. A fatal. Yeah.
So, I mean, we just don't know.
But it was said they've been stabbed multiple times, so it wasn't
Yes.
the fact that they were only stabbed once. They were all stabbed multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So
But maybe the first
multiplied
one.
by 4.
Maybe the first one, though, was the one that really put the person down, and then the psychopath just decided to jab a little more. I mean, this is speculation, though. Okay, we've got 2 more minutes.
It takes a lot more work, and that's a lot more personal. So there's going to be some struggle. There's going to be some fibers and DNA evidence and trace and hair and fiber. All of those things they're going to be looking through, not only at the autopsy and sending it to the laboratory, but at the scene itself and collecting that kind of stuff. So then they're going to pull, probably at the autopsy, I'm sure she already did it, scrape the bottom of the fingernails and pull any DNA trace evidence off of that to see if we can get a DNA profile on somebody that's been arrested or has that profile in the National Data Bank as well as prints. And as you see in the video, the techs are already dusting for prints and taking photographs. And you'll see one of the investigators taking prints of something on the window. And she's, she's doing a real good job. She's gloved up. She's being very careful. She's wearing booties to not disturb the crime scene. And she's doing what we call wide, middle, tight. So she's taking a wide shot first to make sure it's orientated to wherever it is on the house. Then she's going to a medium shot to bring it in a little bit more. Then she's going to go in tight to it, put a rule in there for scale. And that's how we do it. After that, I mean, the information is just going to keep coming in. This is a horrible, horrible crime. I hope they catch this person or persons. And I'm sure they got everybody and their mother on this case. So if you have any information that can help police, please call the hotline that they have identified on their website. And let's catch this guy together. Okay. Good luck, law enforcement. Keep up the good work. And my prayers go out to all the family involved in the community, this horrific crime. All right. I'll try to keep you updated as I find things out as well.
This man is awesome.
Well, I mean, he's a 25-year retired veteran crime scene reconstructionist. He's a sheriff sergeant. He served on the department SWAT team as the sniper. He's a national certified traffic crash reconstructionist. He's also a United States Marine Corps. He's done 2 tours of Desert Storm. I think he's a pretty good person to get some good, solid information about the crime scene.
Yeah, I'm going to send him a message after the live and ask him if we can get together and just talk about the Idaho, because now the profilers were coming out talking about it. So maybe he's got some insight on that he can tell us about. So this one is 6 minutes, and this is the last one. And then we are going to get into Mr. Rex wrote in private chat.
Yeah. So
and then we'll get into the story in Oregon, because I definitely want to hear that. So I am going to go take my little girls out real quick. Because I have 2 dogs, 2 hermit crabs, a ferret, and a cat.
Well, she doesn't take the hermit crabs out. Just so you know.
I do take my hermit crabs out.
Yeah, but not outside to go potty.
I take the little hermit crabs out of the tank when I'm on live with Kaz on the camera on Discord. And she's like, oh, I got to put that thing back in. I'm like, no, his name is Freeze Dried. Oh, I have a crab. He's probably 19 years old now, Kaz.
Yeah.
He's a 19-year-old hermit crab. He was actually, but I've actually froze him twice. One time the heat went out. It was like 10 below in Maine. And I didn't realize their heating pads in the back of the tank were out. And I had like 6 of them. And everyone died. And I thought he died. And I had put him on the dresser. And I was looking through the tank to see whatever else. And then I heard click, click. And I said, oh my God, he's alive. So at that time, his name was Sheldon. So then I named him Freeze Dried. And then about a week ago, somebody accidentally turned the power bar off to the heater. And I thought he was dead again. Like I was pushing on his legs and they were like jelly. They were going anywhere I put them. So I put him under a basking lamp and I looked over about 30 minutes later and he was gone. So I was like, he's like the little Terminator crab.
He's got more lives than any cat ever has been on this earth.
Right. And then the cat that I have, if you go back into the one live short that I have, I was down in Ocala, Florida, getting my mom to bring her up here to visit just before COVID. And he moved into the garage and then he wouldn't leave me alone. And I love animals. I just not a person that would have had a cat for a pet. And then when I was packing up the moving truck, I think I got to Georgia and I realized that the cat was in the moving truck. So I had to call back to the apartment place, condo, and say, is this somebody's cat? And the lady called me back and she said, no, they left him and his sister. If you keep him, I'll take the sister. So this is him. Kitty. Kitty. You want to say hi? Say hi. Kitty. Yeah, so now I've got a kitty and a ferret and a 16-year-old Chihuahua, which is the original monkey, and then Casey, who's about 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 5 minutes and 39. New details on the Idaho murder update by crime scene investigator. Yeah, he was a crime scene investigator.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's a drug splatter specialist.
And he was in the Marines.
Yeah. And a sniper. He's good.
Yeah, my dad was in the Marine Corps. Okay, here we go.
I just wanted to provide you a little bit of an update for this murder investigation that's going on in Moscow.
I'm going to take the girls. I'll be right
If
back.
you haven't seen my first original video, I'm going to link it. One of these places up here. You can take a look at it on the card after you're done, or wait to the very end, and I'll put it at the very end so you can get my breakdown of what's going on so far. But I wanted to break it down on what happened today. Today is the 20th of November, and there's some new information out. A lot of it is like squashing some rumors that have been going around and floating around on some of these other sites. So I'm going to break down just a few of the highlights I took away from the updates today. The chief talked, some people from Idaho State Police talked, and basically they're being vigilant. They're all working together, which is great. The more security on the campus, which is great. But let's get into a little bit of the nitty gritty as far as the investigation is concerned. They did confirm that the 911 call came from inside the house. And the thing that I really picked up today was that it was on the phone of a surviving roommate. So it's one of the other two roommates' phones. It wasn't one of the victims. They also verified they were likely all asleep during the attack, and some had defensive wounds. They didn't say all, they said some, and that each victim was stabbed multiple times. So they did say that. They did release a diagram of where they were canvassing the area, where they're focusing a lot of their attention for video surveillance or witnesses. So they've kind of picked out this different area that they want to be focusing on. Now they've squashed some misinformation that's been out there that people have been speculating about. The two surviving roommates are not suspect. He basically said, quote, "We do not believe the following individuals are involved in this crime." They gave one, the surviving roommates are not suspects. They've ruled them out. A male seen at the Grubhub or the Grub truck, the food vendor that was in a white hoodie, he has been ruled out and not involved in this crime. The private party that drove Kaylee and Madison home is not involved. The identity of the caller of the 911 call has not been released to anybody. So that call is not out anywhere. Another rumor was they were not tied and gagged. Also, detectives seized contents of 3 dumpsters. They looked for a bunch of evidence in there, and basically nothing of note was found. So that's been ruled out as far as gathering any information. They also did canvass a bunch of businesses in the city and other places, looking for anybody that may have purchased a knife that they think may match the murder weapon, and nothing of note at this time as far as the investigation is concerned, and they still have not located a weapon. It went into a little bit of Q&A. There's some questions that were asked by some of the reporters, and I took a couple things away from that as well, because the investigators had said this was a targeted event, targeted murder. And so one of the reporters asked, well, why is it targeted? What is it targeted on? One of the 4 individuals? Is there somebody that's more targeted than the others? And the other 3 were just victims of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He would not say. The chief would not say. He just said, based on the totality of their circumstances, which is what we use in law enforcement, is taking everything into account. Statements, evidence, witnesses, everything. The totality says it leads them to believe it was targeted, and they're holding that near and dear to them, and I don't blame them. So we'll find out more when that comes out, and they don't jeopardize the investigation, which is fine by me. The 911 call came from the roommate's phone. We know that. I'm not going to say who made the call. Somebody asked that question. And so one of the reporters said, was the killer the 911 caller? And he said, no, the 911 caller was not the killer. Also, there was a guy, I think his name was Jake, that the girls were calling or texting back and forth. That rumor was out there. And they asked if he's been ruled out as a suspect or person of interest. And the chief basically said, everything we've gotten to this point, all the tips and all the information we followed up on and ruled anybody out as being connected. So that kind of lumps him in that as well. One of the reporters said, you're not confirming the roommate called 911, but used the roommate's phone. Was there someone else in the home besides the 2 roommates? The chief answered, there were other friends that had arrived at the location. So that is new information, that there is other people that arrived at the location. He didn't say when, what time that may have been. Could have been 4 a.m, could have been 11:57 before the 911 call came out. He didn't say, he doesn't know. Oh, somebody asked, do you think it's done by one perpetrator? And he said, we can't disclose that information. We're still investigating, which is fine. They're going to take all that information and make a ruling on that. And there's another question about which victims are on which floor, and he would not elaborate on the floor of the victims itself. So that was all the new information we have, besides the ones that I talked about in my other video, which you're going to see at the end of this video. So I'll try to keep you updated as I can as new information comes out. And we just pray for these families and peace for this city, and pray that the investigators are doing a great job and they start making some headway and bringing these people to justice. So thanks again for tuning in. You guys have been great. And as always, leave a comment, and I'll try to answer every one that I can. All right. Take care, guys.
Awesome. Yeah. I think you've definitely got to get hold of Johnny.
Yeah, I will. So why don't you share with us what I gave you regarding those statistics, and I'm going to pull up this article on the couple in Oregon, but I'm going to see if I can find.
Hang on, I've got so many blinking things open here. Hang on a second.
And then we'll hit the Twitter page and see what we can, if anything's out there new. But I wanted to go back to the Fox one that I had found regarding that Oregon situation, because of the fact that they were comparing it. 1 second, let me go back.
You want to do that before I show the stat one?
Oh, no. We want to hear your sexy accent. Oh, wait. Oh, I found another video with a neighbor talking, which we can watch after your statistics.
Okay. Let me just see if it's come up on screen. I'll just make that full screen.
Let me see. I'm not looking at screen. 1 second. I'm trying to find that.
All right.
Okay,
so
coming back to the screen.
You ready?
Hey, Fiona.
All right. This is about gender-based violence. All right. Nationally, 54% of female homicide victims reported stalking to police before they were killed by their intimate partner. The Coordinated Approach to Preventing Stalking, CAPS, program is an initiative by the New York City Mayor's Office to end domestic and gender-based violence in collaboration with the New York
Oh, you're
City.
not going to share. Hang on, let me share it. Then I have it open. Go ahead. Hang on.
Oh, is that not what? That's what you sent me?
Yeah, but I want to show it.
I am showing it.
No, you're not.
Oh, it's got off the screen. Oh, sorry. I closed it on the screen. Hang on.
Okay, well, go ahead. Put yours back up.
I must have closed the wrong thing. Ding,
It's
ding.
okay.
Ah, ding, ding. I had two of them open. I must have closed the wrong one.
I'm trying to figure out, you know, I mean, my phone just started. If it's, I mean, could you imagine it ending up being something related to the mother?
But that just came into my head the other day, that's all. It was just a bizarre coincidence. When they said it was targeted, I just thought, well, it's just highly wide. No, it's out there. It's not been confirmed. So this is only, a theory, but it was out there that Ethan and Zena were the first victims. And I thought, well, that's strange that they got murdered first. And then I heard about Cara.
Well, I would have to say that happened first because of the fact that, I mean, you would have to take the strong one down first, right?
But
hello, London girl.
How does the murderer know that Ethan was staying there that night? How does the murderer
Because he
know?
had to have known.
How?
Because he had to have been, he had to, maybe he was waiting back in those wood line, waiting to see when they got home. And I mean, we don't know, but if they think that it was targeted and they were stalking, somebody stalking, but not as saying one of these gorgeous girls, to me does not make sense.
No, it doesn't gel with me either. But how did they know which bedroom they slept in?
Well, then maybe it's somebody who knows the layout of the house or who's been watching from those bushes.
Because if they knew the layout and that they've taken the lives of Zena and Ethan, left Dylan and Bethany alive, then go upstairs from the third floor and take the lives of Kaylee and Madison. Why didn't they take the lives of Dylan and Bethany then?
Maybe they didn't know that they were. Maybe he didn't know that they were down there.
But they're on the same. They're on the same floor as Zena and Ethan.
Okay, go ahead and read that little story to us.
The CAPS model is a homicide prevention program aimed at identifying intimate partner stalking cases and provide appropriate criminal justice and social services interventions before stalking behaviour escalates to physical injury, serious physical injury, or fatality. All right, so the stalking facts are, while many people think of stalking in the context of a stranger or a celebrity, most stalking victims are stalked by somebody they know. Nationally, 61% of female victims and 44% of male victims are stalked by a current or former intimate partner. Stalking behaviour is often ongoing and frequent. Nationally, 46% of stalking victims experience at least one unwanted contact per week. Also, 2/3 of stalkers pursue their victims at least once per week using more than one method. Stalking is a high risk factor of lethality. Nationally, 54% of female homicide victims reported stalking to the police before they were killed by their stalker, and 76% of female homicide victims experienced stalking by an intimate partner before they were killed. Additionally, weapons are used to harm or threaten in 1 out of 5 cases, and intimate partner stalkers frequently approach their victims and their behaviours can escalate quickly. Stalking and physical abuse often occur in an intimate partner relationship. Nationally, 89% of female victims who have been physically assaulted also have been stalked in the 12 months before the murder, and 79% of abused femicide victims reported being stalked during the same period that they were abused, which is a scary thought. But if we listen to all the information that was put out by Kaylee's family, the relationship between Jack and Kaylee was beautiful. They were just having a little break before they got into the heavy relationship thing of going forward to the marriage part. Hey, London girl, how are you, darling?
Yeah. I do not. I mean, the whole stalker thing to me is just not adding up. The mother being arrested, Xana's mother being arrested for charges before that. I just don't understand why you wouldn't go after her kid instead of taking out 3 others. Why the 2 girls were left in the bottom, I don't know. But the layout of the house, I mean, when you come into that first floor where those girls would have been. It's not like you have to go down to a basement like people were kind of assuming in the beginning.
Exactly. It doesn't make, I mean, I have a very logical mind, and to wrap my head around the fact that they find 1 bedroom, so they've opened the bedroom door, they've found Ethan and Xana, murdered that couple, but they've not gone over to the other bedroom and found another person that's sleeping in that bed and not murdered them, but they've gone upstairs and opened 2 other bedroom doors and murdered 2 other girls up there. That doesn't make sense.
Nope. And that's why I feel like, I mean, that it wasn't a stalker.
I think that's
and out, like killing 4 people and out, and you have no suspect this far into it, unless they're keeping it close to the vest.
Gen X Cara Canoodle was charged with possession of drugs. I showed.
Yeah, you want to pull that up real quick again for people that have not seen a few.
I will pull that up again, darling.
Yeah, Kaz. I can't believe how much water I drink. You know, it gets really dry up here in the winter because of the heat, even though you have humidifiers. But man, I'm sitting here literally drinking out of a 2-liter bottle of Sprite.
Well, like it is so hot here. I'm going through water like it's.
Okay, so while Kaz is doing that, let me go get the baby. The baby wants to say hi.
Aww.
Be right back. Okay. Yeah, show them the charges on the mom and when it happened, because it's oh shit. Hey Lynn. I'll be right back. Let me grab the baby.
All right. Let me just double check I can see it on the screen. Yep. Okay. So here's Cara's Denise Canoodle's charges. She was incarcerated on the 20th of November. She was arrested on the 19th of November at 9:08 p.m. And there's actually 6 charges. And she's got 2 lots of $50,000 bonds put up against her. On class 1 and 2 drugs. So it's not good. It's not good. So that's okay, Janex. I'm here to please. I'm here to please. Oh, gee, she's growing every time I see her, Ma. Oh, look at her tum-tum. She's getting her tummy on her. She's filling out, that's for sure. Oh, look at her face. Look at that face. Isn't she gorgeous? Mum. No, I don't want to kiss you, Mum. She's gorgeous. Yeah, dear. Zana's mum was incarcerated on the 20th of November for 6 lots of drug charges with a $100,000 bond. It's not good. What? Ma, you muted. I can't hear you.
Lynn, she's a carnivore. She eats. I can give her a raw chicken bone. But right now she's eating baby food because she just turned 4 months. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got her for my birthday.
Yeah.
My wonderful subs and members helped me get my baby Fiona.
She actually puts herself to bed now, which I think is so cute.
My wonderful ex-husband. Okay, I have no
Good
makeup
on you,
on,
Alan.
no filter. I'm old as hell. I'm closing the camera.
Yeah,
you know, but when you can just cam up with no makeup on, hair crazy looking, you know, it's just like, but you know, that's the deal. You got to be real. You know, just be you. Exactly. Just be you.
I've got clothes on just in case.
You're so full of shit. I don't see clothes. You're naked.
Well, hang on. There you go. Then you can think I'm naked. There you go. I do off the shoulder. It's too blinking hot to wear stuff on the shoulder.
You say hi?
Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. You can see all my storage stuff over on this side. Anybody need a solid timber coffee table? I'm giving it away. Can you show the hermit crab? Freeze dry.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
What?
I can't show the hermit crab tonight because they are actually molting when the cold comes in. Even though I have 2 heaters on their tank and I take them out of a 20-gallon and I put them in a 10-gallon in the winter so that it stays super warm. But right now they are underneath molting, so I can't disturb them because they're shedding the the excavators coming off right now, so I can't bother them. Sweet Melissa, I am 51.
And okay. Sweet Melissa, we're the same age. I'm 64. I will be 65 in March.
Okay, so this is interesting. I have not heard of this one yet. Let's get past the ad. Wait a second. Where is that? Hang on. So this...
You buying me a ring? Oh, you shouldn't have.
I am.
Oh. gonna get down on
Idaho
one knee?
murders live. Victim's father says Moscow police believe only one of 4 students killed was the target. But this is about. No. I'm looking for. Hang on a second. Wrong one, guys. We want the Moscow. Let me see if I can find a video. I don't feel like. Okay, here we go. Let's see if it's a video. Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
Money Moves, it was 102. Around the 100 mark today. It was hot.
Yeah. So.
And we're not even in summer yet.
I can't seem to get to the right one. Let me go to the note card. Let's just play. Kaz, you're going to have to read it.
We're only in spring. God help us.
Okay, here we go.
I might have to move to Maine.
All right. So, mom of slain, picture go away. Mom of slain Oregon man, Travis Jutin, speaks out after cops eye link to University of Idaho murders.
But that's still. Oh. Yeah, dear. I hope Kara's drug hasn't rolled over into Zana's life too.
Come on, you can do it. Come on.
Because that'd be a travesty.
What's the problem?
Jim he's a retired FBI supervisory
Oh.
special agent and criminal behavioral analysis expert. He tells Fox that he believes that the suspect is really a young man. And Jim Clemente, he's a retired FBI supervisory special agent and criminal behavioral analysis expert. He tells Fox that he believes that the suspect is likely a young man and someone who has not carried out such violent crimes before. This is what he says. This is probably more compulsive kind of person. Put him at a younger age and maybe in the age group or just above the victims, going into an occupied dwelling with 6 people in different rooms in the middle of the night is an extremely high risk crime, unless he knows one or more. The coroner says that it
Let me go back for a bit. Who puts an ad in the middle of the video like that?
But when you
Let me
investigate
refresh
a crime
this.
scene
Hang
like
on.
this, and it's a knife that's being used as the
I
weapon.
need to get up and walk around a bit, darling.
Yeah, this is the last video. But who puts an ad in the middle of the video like that?
Crazy people.
How
Crazy.
Rude. How rude. These new websites will drive you crazy. Come on.
You can do it. Look for Ma.
Yeah, it's definitely the website though, because my net is good.
FBI supervisory.
I'm gonna leave it small. Nope. Okay, this
Special agent and criminal behavioral analysis expert. He tells Fox that he believes that the suspect is likely a young man, and
it's on
someone
their
who has
end.
not carried out such violent crimes before. This is what he says. This is probably more of a compulsive kind of person that would put him at a younger age and maybe in the age group or just above the victims.
It's not behaving for you, darling.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on YouTube. Does New York Post even have a YouTube?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Let's see. They have
I'm
to.
not looking.
They
I'm not
do.
looking forward to tomorrow because I've got to travel 2 hours in a car with my sister to a place that is hotter than where I live for a celebration of life. That they have no air conditioning where we're going, and then that's a 2 hour there, 3 hour event, 2 hour back. I'm gonna die of heat exhaustion.
Yeah, they do have they do have a YouTube channel, but that video is not on it. But the one video that they do have on it is the guy streaming the Walmart employee that didn't seem to have any sympathy or empathy of what just happened to his coworkers.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back and see what's wrong with this. Why is it?
It's Fox. It doesn't like you. It's Fox News.
No. Let me search and see if I can find another video on this. One sec. Here we go. Let's see if this one plays nice. I'm going to kick its ass. All right, present. Okay. Not. Yeah, it's going to give us a video in a second, I hope. So this is Travis and Jamie Lynn Ejuten. No video? Give us a video. So he died in an attack that left his wife seriously injured. There's a video coming. Maybe the wind outside. Here, let me send it to you. Kaz, that New York Post video in private chat.
Okay, pop it in.
I'm popping. I'm going to pop it in. I'm going to pop it in your box, baby.
Oh, Ma. Fill it up.
I'm going to pop it in your box.
I mean, I could just pull it out.
I mean,
because I put it in there.
I have a feeling the ferret. I have a feeling that Fiona has got my little wireless router and she has taken it somewhere.
She does. She does
Okay,
have a bad
I popped
habit
it in
of
your
doing
box.
that. Yeah, I've got it already.
Oh wait, there's the video. Hang on.
I'm hanging.
Let's see if it works.
I'm hanging.
Come on. You can do it. You can do it. We got to push play. Yes.
In a tearful plea to the community, the family of a homicide victim asking for anyone who knows what happened to please come forward.
Someone violently attacked the Hijutin family in the middle of the night last year, and family friends say the actions saved his wife's life. Liz Birch joined us now in the studio. Liz, they're desperate for answers here.
They really are. That reward is up to $50,000 for information. They say it's made up of donations, and it makes them hopeful someone will come forward.
Nothing justifies this horrific crime.
With the Marion County Courthouse behind her, Travis Jutton's mother, Myra, begged the community to help her get justice for her son. She shared fond memories of Travis nearly a year after he was killed.
He was the most kind, sweet, smart child you ever would want. Throughout his life, Travis brought us so much joy and happiness.
She says her grief has gotten worse every day since the news that her son died.
I never understood what a broken heart felt like until that morning of August 13th, 2021. A monster decided that their life was more important than our son.
Investigators say in August of last year, an intruder came into Travis Jutton's rural Marion County home in the middle of the
2021.
night, stabbing and killing Travis and wounding his wife, Jamie Lynn. The details are gruesome. At the time, a family friend told Coin Travis was killed while trying to fight off the intruder and said Jamie Lynn was stabbed a total of 19 times. I asked the Marion County Sheriff's Office today if there are any updates in the
Holy
investigation.
shoot.
They say they haven't made any arrests. They're still looking for information. Travis's mother begged anyone who knows who did this to come forward.
Every day the grief gets worse as we have no answers. Somebody knows something. So I'm begging you as Travis's mother, whose heart breaks every day, to reach out to Detective Van Horn with any information you may have, no matter what it might be. Please be that hero I know that's out there.
Just so sad. You can really hear the emotion in her voice there. You heard her reference a detective. We have that information to reach out to that detective on our website, coin.com.
Elizabeth was asking what state was that in. It's in
Oregon. Kaz, can you
Oregon.
try to play that? Can you try to play that post I put into private? That one seems to be a little. My first initial fact when I heard this was the girlfriend might have had a boyfriend, and it was. I don't think it has. My first feeling is I don't think it has anything to do with the Idaho 4. Maybe the girlfriend was trying to get rid of the husband, and you know how they've done it to where somebody killed the wife or the husband and then they stabbed themselves a couple times with those little superficial wounds. You know, who knows? I'm gonna look a little bit into it. But right now we're looking into that other story that we played the other night. Cass and I are gonna dig a little bit into that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. But I want to see this New York Post video.
No, will not play.
Huh?
Won't load. It comes up with an error.
Oh, let me try it again. Can you just be nice and play the video? Get this little hunchback running by me. Okay, be nice. You're going to skip. You're going to play. Why do you have to have so much stuff on the page? I think it's that problem.
Yeah, they've got too many ads on the page.
So I'm going to, if it starts, I'm not gonna go into full screen. I'm gonna stay right here.
Special agent and criminal behavioral analysis expert. He tells Fox that he believes that the suspect is likely a young man and someone who has not carried out such violent crimes before. This is what he says. This is probably more of a compulsive kind of person that would put him at a younger age and maybe in the age group or just above the victims, going into an occupied dwelling with 6 people in different rooms in the middle of the night is an extremely high-risk crime. Unless he knows one or more of the people, this offender did not just randomly choose this location. This is a personal crime. The coroner says that it most likely was the same weapon, the same knife that was used to stab all 4 victims. But when you investigate a crime scene like this and it's a knife that's being used as the weapon of choice, this is a front face interaction. This is a personal crime. What do you make of his analysis of the description of a potential suspect?
Well, look, with a knife and you've got multiple victims, this is not a crime that can be committed in, a minute or two, like if there was a firearm. This is something where the killer or killers, we can't rule out the fact that there may be more than one, but you've got the person in there for an extended period of time because they've got to kill and fight with potentially not one person, but 4, and they might be in different parts of the house. So there's lots of information that was left behind. And by
So I guess that was the end of that video.
Wasn't long.
But where's the full video? Because that was interesting. Who was that man?
Well, that was the FBI profiler that I initially saw.
Yeah.
And he
I'm
was the
looking
one
for
who
his name.
he was the one who said that this person, it was a messy but ballsy. Oh, Jess, is Monkey still awake? God, I wish I had Monkey's
Oh my gosh, guys. I
energy.
have got. You know what? Look at how disturbing this is. I can't even. They don't say it, they read it, but I have to play this. I have never heard of anything like this. This is. Oh, hang on a second. Oh my gosh. Trigger warning, guys. It's this man killed his mother, and all I saw was chunks of skin and chunks of hair missing. So if you guys want to turn away, it's 50 seconds and it's only talking. An Idaho man. Now is the time, but holy shit. My gosh. Mm. What a psychopath. To your own mother.
Sick individuals.
Your own mother. How do you do that? All right, let's do it. I'm just going to pull up. I don't think there's anything new on Twitter, but I'm just going to see. I think I pulled it all out today in the last hour. Let's see. 2 minutes ago, seeking info regarding Kaylee Stalker and videos. Info can be submitted. I don't think it was that type of stalker. Detectives are seeking all outside surveillance video.
But this should have been asked for in the beginning, because a lot of people may not have their surveillance video or going to an iCloud.
What students notice the following call? Bloody shower, friend showing you his favorite blade. Yeah, unbelievable. And like they said earlier, the University of Idaho allows remote learning in wake of unsolved murders.
And so they should too. Thank goodness in today's age this is a possibility. So
wait, what is this? Oh my God, in my opinion, look at this poll. Impart IP address is Sarah Osborne. IG account, credit for chain threads on this, which screenshot I posted earlier, links. Whomever that is, the killer, like Ethan Crumbly.
what does it say? I can't see it properly, don't I? What does it say?
Instagram. What is this? Let me switch screens. I was looking through some comments on the victims' Instagram accounts and saw a few ugly ones laughing about the situation. What was first weird was that all the troll accounts, public ones at least, had one photo in common. A screenshot posted on March 6th on a TikTok. Hang on, the little girl just came over here. On a
No
TikTok
money.
icon. What, Kaz?
I'll just say no money moves. We don't know because autopsy reports haven't come out. Swear.
With a caption asking anyone knows how to hack into a TikTok account. Anyways, particular account username is Sarah Hosborn 184, post dating back to May 13th, 14, talking about how their cousin wanted to make a movie called Killing the Clones, starring two girls who look very familiar. I am not comfortable posting pictures of them without their consent, but they are still up on the profile. I by no means saying Kaylee and Maddie looked like clones, but they undeniably shared quite few similarities. Creepiest part to me is that 5 days ago, November 12th, one day after the murder, with no post between May and then, is when they created the YouTube channel and shared their Killing Clones movie. Here is the link. What?
Ma, we've got the Gen X. Oh, by the way, Gen X, love your Christian name. Wink, wink. I've just popped the.
Shoot. That sucks. It's unavailable. Let me see if I can.
She's
so
not
what
listening
was?
To me, guys. She's not listening to me.
I am.
What did I say?
Something said Gen X.
I know. I also said Gen X sent us the email, and I popped it in Discord.
Oh, okay. Open it up. I'm gonna see. That was weird. What I just saw. I want to go back to that real quick. Yeah. Open it up. See if I can go into the screen name. What the hell?
Oh, this looks interesting. Cyber sleuths look for clues in
Sarah
Venmo accounts. Ooh, wow. Yeah. We have something in common, Gen X and I. I'm not telling you what it is. It's a secret. Tell you later, Ma.
Wait. Let me open up Instagram. Because these comments. What is that?
This is what Gen X has sent us.
I was on another page, guys, with the Reddit comments or the whole shit. We got to you can tell I'm getting tired. We got to OSIN. What is that?
This is what Gen X sent us.
Okay, yeah, play that. We're gonna have to do a part 2 to this tomorrow night, and maybe we can get a hold of Johnny Law to come join us.
Oh,
okay.
You can't do that because I can't do it tomorrow. I'm gonna
not
be
okay. I know, not tomorrow. The next day.
I'm gonna say.
Okay. So what I'm saying, what is this though? Like, what is the? Who is this?
All right, it's a News Nation. It says cyber sleuths look for clues in Idaho victims' Venmo accounts. Ready?
Hundreds of tips, especially on social media, where crimes pop lately, analyzing clues and highlighting theories. My next 2 guests see them all. Christine Cameron and Alina Smith oversee the University of Idaho Murders Case Discussion Group on Facebook, and about 13,500 people have joined and counting, and they are here with me live. Christine, let me begin with you. You've been passionate about, solving crime since John Bonet and Madeleine McCann. So let me ask you about your group members zeroing in on Venmo and the public activity that they've been able to see between these victims and what they've been spending their money on. Can you explain what they've seen?
Yes. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for having
Hello,
us.
Ashley Banfield.
You see a lot of normal transactions between friends and roommates, paying each other for pizza and coffee. We see that on November 12th at 1:59, Ethan sent Kaylee money. The caption said, "Thank you." Then at 2:10 p.m., he sent her money again with a note that says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But when group members looked at Ethan's Venmo, a new Jack came about. Ethan paid someone named Jack Katovich at 11:40 p.m., and that is his last Venmo transaction. Not to say there's, anything wrong or suspicious, but that's just a new character that comes for people to talk about on social media. But someone went a step further in our group and did some digging. They posted that someone paid Jack's sister that day and captioned it 3:30 a.m. That time they felt was really unsettling. And Jack K was also the first person to donate to a memorial fund for Ethan in the amount of $6. And people are really reading into that a lot. Why $6? Now Jack is really just a topic of conversation and people want to hear more about it.
And a 3:30 a.m. Venmo captioned 3:30 a.m. Jack's sister. Fascinating. Alina, can you weigh in on why a lot of people in the discussion group have been focusing in on the potential target as actually being Xana and Ethan, not necessarily where all the focus is on Kaylee and Maddie?
Hi, Ashley. Mostly because there's an eerily similar murder that happened in Oregon about August, and it also happened on the 13th. And it was a man and wife couple that was attacked. The murder weapon was a knife. It happened between 2 and 3 in the morning. And they believe that Kaylee and Madison were just collateral damage, and everybody has it backwards. There's a theory that migrated from a Reddit group that someone may have just followed Xana and Ethan home from the Sigma Chi party, and they were the ones that were intended for the murders.
Christine, I have a couple seconds left, but tell me about the general consensus when it comes to the surviving roommates, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk.
So, there's two camps. Some say that they believe they believe the police when they say that they've been cleared. Others say, this delayed 911 call, the locked doors, calling friends over before they call the police, seems way too suspicious.
What you have been doing is absolutely fascinating, ladies, and I would love to have you back next week as well, because clearly this story is not going away. And for our viewers out there, we have a link on our News Nation Facebook page to Christine and Alina's page. It's called the University of Idaho Murders Case Discussion Group. So make sure you check that out. Christine Cameron, Alina Smith, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
Interesting. Thanks for that, Janex. Very interesting. Yeah, Money Moose, she died.
Right. So,
Christ, she
rejects?
kind of was on a break. She hadn't broke up, as according to her mum. They were just having, time away. Yeah, thanks, Janex, for that. All right, Mum, did you find anything more on what you were delving into? Or we're going to save that for another night? Because my body is giving up on me. My bones. I can't feel my body anymore. I've lost her. Has the wind taken her to Kansas?
Oh, I found, hang on one sec.
Okay, dear. And it's my dinner time and I'm hungry.
Okay.
No, nor did I, Janex. Although I
Okay.
haven't really looked either.
Kaz, can you open up Oscar's Instagram account?
Yes, I can.
Oh shit. Oh, hang on 1 second. Let me pull up the Reddit. Because somebody was talking about a Michael Cates, but that person's in Miami. Okay. Present. So I opened up the Reddit. I'm not good at Reddit. But I figured out how to get to these comments. So this is what we just read about the weirdness to the YouTube channel that is unavailable now. So one of the Instagram names is, I'll drop it in private chat even though you guys can see it, so you can just copy and paste it. So the comments are going on, and Maximum Effort says, I've noticed a lot of the Instagram burner accounts making the negative comments on the Instagram have retreated, but one Jack Franklin 8752 I see that is definitely the same person as Sarah. So let me drop this into private chat, his name. And then it says, I'm starting to need a large board, some pins and red strings. Jack is the name of one of the ex-boyfriends. They are the same account. I just tried, forgot my password on IG on both accounts, and they both link to the same phone number. Wow, you are good. So do you see these accounts?
All right, I just had to go through hoo-ha about logging in again. All right, I need, so what's the name? Jim,
I put him
what?
in private chat.
Oh, sorry.
And there's another one that this Jen says there's an account called the _ Moscow Slayer. I'm going to put that in there too. And I saw that. What a dick. Not related.
Right.
Just okay. So the Moscow player Slayer is not related. Cross him out.
All right. That
But
first one.
he does follow the 3 girls. It's like he wants to be noticed though. So look at this right here. Oh wait. I need to. I'll let you show that screen in a second, but one of these people are actually showing an image of this right here. Oh, hang on. Let me get to the bigger. That's the wrong one. Present.
That first name you put in there has got no posts.
Well, then they probably hit him. So this is the Moscow Slayer. And this is never a dull moment with my Millie. This is the last knife that I carried into the combat. I might have taken out a few bad dudes with it. But that is not, that's not the knife. No. So you can't, so.
There's no post at all on that first name. On the second name.
The Jack Franklin one?
Yeah.
Let me Google that Jack Franklin name.
It's a private account.
Of course it is now.
The third one.
I don't see a Twitter on him. I see a Twitter, but it's definitely not that one. Huh.
Whoever had that name is no longer there. There's no such name. What is the Moscow Slayer?
What the heck? Let's see what else real quick. So I don't know. Do you have to log in to see the emails? Oh, I wonder if we would be able to see the email.
Now you're looking at the Reddit names, Twitter. You're not looking. They're not necessarily the Instagrams. You're on.
Oh,
Reddit.
yes, they are. He said it was.
Oh.
He says right here. I've noticed an Instagram burner account making comments on IG, but one Jack Franklin. I see definitely the same person as Sarah.
Oh.
So that's definitely Instagram. So then let's see what else.
Well, the Moscow Slayer does not have an Instagram account called that.
Just seeing if there's anything that's giving out that email.
If you click on the 5 more replies on that blue line underneath there, well, you've gone past it.
Yeah, I'm opening all of them. It wasn't that blade.
No.
I'm trying to get to this email. Someone said they found the IG, but the picture was changed. That isn't a fixed blade as reported. No, you're correct. Yeah, I don't see. Well, what is this? Hang on a second.
I mean, I've got a Reddit account, but I don't use
it. What is this? Okay, I got to end it after this, though, guys. I'm getting sleepy. But let's end it with this, and we'll see what else we can find. Hopefully they'll have a killer. What is this? Sarah. Oh. Okay. So Sarah 184 follows Ethan Chapin, Madison May Mogan, Kaylee Jade. So this Sarah Osborne 184 follows 3 of them. Where's the 4th one? She doesn't follow the 4th one. Ethan's girlfriend. Huh. Xana. Interesting. I'm going to post this on my community post.
Yeah, it's strange that now she's got 15 followers, but she's not following anybody. Isn't that strange?
Go!
Oh, he's
Go!
Get the dickens out of me.
I have hang on a second, guys. I got a bug the size of a helicopter
That's
right
one
now.
thing. That's one thing Mark can't handle.
Oh,
you
bet. Girl! Now the cat's trying to get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Nothing should be flying at this time of the year. What in God's earth is it? Oh, that scared the shit out of me, guys. Oh my God. I'm like, girl!
We have things called Christmas beetles here, and when they land on you, they stick to your clothes and you can't get them off. That
Kitty.
I hate them.
Get it, Kitty. Get it. Kitty. Go get it. please. Go get it. He only likes to bring home dead birds and dead mice. Whew, hey, Junie. You said hi to Junie?
Hey, Junie.
The cat said hi too. So that's interesting that this person does. Let's go back. Maybe there's more. Hang on, guys. I'll just scroll through like 2 more minutes and I've got to get to bed. You think I should go to bed, Kitty? Yeah. Kitty, I don't speak Hebrew. Oh,
I'm
God,
going to have
that
to get
bug.
Ross to start dinner.
Yeah, we're going right now. I'm just seeing if there was any other. Let me just read this and then I'm going to wrap it up. So Sarah says, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the long-awaited movie that I've been leaking. The film is about a boyfriend who was fed up with his girlfriend clones, so he hires a hitman to take him out. And that was the YouTube link that was broken. Maybe I can somehow get my hands on it. And then there's a post showing here of Sarah. I have a serious question. My cousin wants to make a movie. So let me save these real quick to the desktop in case somebody decides they want to make them go away. All right. Desktop, save. Okay. All right, yeah, that's it. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Thank you for coming. And if you haven't
Thank
already,
you guys.
can you please hit the like button on your way out after we've played the little video before we close down the live?
Yes. So we'll be live on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they'll have somebody in custody by then, but we'll go through the Reddit and see what else new pops out by then. Everyone, thank you for coming in. Kaz, thank you.
Thank you,
We
sweetheart.
appreciate all of you. Guys, stay vigilant and definitely keep your babies safe.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody.
Bye.